everyone. It's good to be with us again. In today's video, we're discussing extensively how to grow maize like a pro. In the How to Grow Maize Like a Pro series, we're addressing land preparation, soil amendments, which are basic preparatory protocols of planting maize. This common saying is that how you prepare your bed is how you lie. If you prepare a poor field, you will have a poor harvest. If you prepare your field properly, you will struggle less in the field, managing weeds, managing pests, managing excessive surface erosions, managing workers. Importantly, your yields will be better. So we're going to look at some of those tips, focusing on soil amendment tips for pro yields, focusing on proper land preparation, conservation approach, tillage, exploring some of the common mistakes that farmers make, particularly smallholder farmers, even industrial scale or large scale farmers who are preparing the field. Recall that in our previous videos on How to Grow Maize Like a Pro series, we have addressed extensively some of the other preparatory protocols, which is on site selections, considering soil tests, not just blindly walking into a field to plow, plant and expect yields, considering proper soil test, comprehensive soil nutrient analysis to guide you on your soil nutrient management. Remember that maize and other cereal crops are highly nutrient feeders, so if you want better yields, it's not just to give them the heavy dose of nutrient, but to understand what key nutrient is lacking in the soil. So it's important that we understand these things. And then we've moved on today to site preparation, considering conservation tillage. If you must plow, if you must prepare your field, what are the other protocols? The science is always evolving, so we currently are understanding that excessive tillage of the field is harmful not just to the soil but to the biodiversity of the field. But while we focus on those important aspects of conservation, we need to also understand that in Nigeria, and not just Nigeria, other parts of sub-Saharan Africa, our soils are highly compactable soils, so it's important that let's delve in and look at these things. And so in your preparation, should, depending on your soil, if it's a virgin land, after removing the stumps, you should consider taking care of the weeds. You should explore room for plowing, because plowing essentially is the process of losing the soil that has been compact over the years, maybe from some cows, from just basic rain and elements compacting the soil. And after plowing, loosening up that topsoil, if the soil is very dirty in terms of populations of weed, it's important that you consider harrowing. Harrowing essentially is to take care of those dents on the surface, make the soil a little bit more loose from the compact chunks that the plow hole has made. And then after achieving that protocol, conventionally what is done is to begin to ridge, depending on what you intend to cultivate. So there are three key operations to look at, which will...
Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to the Eco Farms and Agro Services Company. One of the greatest challenges we had as an early farm was that we were struggling with key good agronomic practice. Not what we haven't learned in schools, not what we haven't learned over the years, but that key areas we had to learn them afresh in the farm. It cost us a lot of money, it cost us a lot of time, it cost us a lot of staffs, and greatly it cost us a lot of opportunities. You don't have to go through that. At the Eco Farms and Agro Services Company, one of the things we're giving back to the society is to provide free and key good agronomic practices to anyone who is willing to learn for free. And so we encourage you to tune into our channel, to make comments where necessary, to share with other farmers who may need these informations so that we can all grow together. Thank you.
So when you achieve these three protocols, you need to understand that the Nigerian soils, most times because of the excessive rains, the nature of our soils are heavily compact, and so it's common practice to consider to properly plow and loosen the soil, properly dissolve it for erosion to receive the nutrient, and then importantly prepare your ridges properly so that by the time you plant, your soils is properly loose and your crop seeds and roots are easily germinating and not struggling to take root, because when the soil is so compact, the roots also struggle access to nutrient is challenging. When nutrient is available, they are easily washed off because the nutrient is not able to permeate properly into the soil. So, like I mentioned earlier, there are two key things to understand in soil preparation. There's the conservation approach, which we greatly encourage, but we do not also deny the fact that the element takes its toll. While there's room to consider conservation approach to tillage practice, soil preparation and amendment, it's also important to understand the conventional approach has its place. So if your soil is not very compact, if it's not a virgin land you're trying to loosen and prepare for first planting, if it's not a forest land you cut down and you're trying to establish a proper maize planting protocol, you may also consider proper conservation tillage practice. In conservation tillage practice, what we encourage is minimum tillage. In several protocols, there is zero tillage, there is minimum tillage, then there's a blend of the minimum to an average of a little bit of tillage. In zero tillage, what we encourage is that you do not till the surface of the soil entirely. Take care of weeds, and then you're going to plant it. What's common in Africa is that you see farmers burn off weeds using maybe herbicides or general cultural practice of taking away weeds, and then they are able to gradually plant the surface by using the hole to cut through the surface of the soil to plant. Some farmers are able to guide themselves on a straight path using a straight line to guide their path. Some farmers have coupling equipment that are able to just minimally, either using animal pull or gradually pulling it with their own labor, scratch the surface with little to no tampering of the soil, which will be lead to tillage. The benefits of no till is that carbon sequestration is greatly encouraged. Carbon sequestration is big grammar for carbon kidnapping, burying back the carbon that is in the decomposing organic matter. When you till your soil, you're exposing this organic matter to the elements for wash-offs, bleaching, to erosion, and that nutrient is lost, that element is exposed to the atmosphere. But when you lock it in by not disturbing the soil, you are locking it in there and importantly improving the soil health and fertility. And so these are some conservation protocols. Some key things we also encourage farmers at harvest is, instead of burning off your maize straws and stalk, we encourage them to leave them on the surface to serve as cover crops for the soil during dry season. And then when the rains come, the elements kick in, soil organic matter kicks in, soil organic organisms also kick in and are able to turn this nutrient back into the soil. Remember, nearly 20-30% of the nutrients you used the previous year is stored in your maize stalk and rice stalk and other crop stock. And so for every time you burn them, you're losing that nutrient, you're destroying it. So it's important that wherever you can, use them as mulching material, cover material. And then when the time is right, when you till, you mix this material with the soil and it's able to greatly yield it. So let's get going with one of the key things on today's topic. By the time you've decided which protocol to go, whether to till or whether not to till, what will guide you is on the nature of your soil. It's important just how you take your soil samples that you also check your soil to tell. Is it too compact in a particular year not to till? Or is it so loose you will not need to till? What I recommend to farmers is that because of our rain pattern and our practice here, for every 2 consecutive years, check your soil. If it's very loose, you don't need to spend money to till. You don't need to disturb the soil. You can consider a no-till. Your previous ridges may be visible. They may be viable to still use them to plant. And in 2 years to 3 years, when the soil is being compact from repeated rainfall, repeated farm activities, and the ridges are nearly diminished or disappear, it's important that you can come in with your tractor or whatever form of plowing, or animal drawn plow, or ridger or harrow, or that you need to engage. So it's important that you look at these things. The other key areas are on soil amendment. Very few farmers work to amend their soils when they are preparing to plant. Amending soil essentially is looking at your soil, seeing what is lacking, and considering what to continue to introduce. It's common practice that when farmers are able to generate organic waste from previous farms, it's important that you introduce those materials into the farm in preparation to till, in preparation to soil preparation, so that as you plow or till through the soil, you're able to use this organic matter to enrich the soil. It's common practice to consider poultry droppings, which is common in Nigeria, pig manure. It's important to also return waste from previous the husking, shelling of harvest to the field, so that these materials are able to enrich your soil. These protocols will greatly help you to increase your soil fertility, reduce excessive dependence on chemical fertilizers and other additives that are greatly harming and reducing our soil health and fertility. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video series where we'll be addressing planting, the right planting space, the right planting depth, right planting population, and importantly, the protocols for planting. Do you decide to intercrop? Do you intend to co-crop? Or what are the protocols to best consider as a smallholder farmer, as an industrial farmer, to manage your space, manage your resources, and importantly, manage your environment? Take care.